Welcome back. It's time for us to get into offside, onside. Brian Curran, what did you just say? The fleet of foot?
Fleet of foot I was.
Fleet of foot that he was. He's reminiscing about his tennis days. Okay, we're going to go back to hockey now, if that's okay. Offside, onside. I want to talk about rule changes just because we have such a good expert here. Brian, you were kind of whispering something there. You had a question to ask our referee expert.
Oh, I was just trying to think of what it was.
All right,
let's go into it, though. I can't remember.
Then my question is, what is the biggest rule change this year that's going to be the most difficult for you or your other, counterparts there to not only identify but then, call and enforce?
Yeah, there hasn't been a ton of rule changes for the upcoming year. The Hockey Canada put an emphasis in the minor game on the head checking, and believe it or not, it's a very difficult penalty to call.
Why?
The stuff along the boards is real easy to call. It's very obvious. You get the elbows up at the head.
Right.
The open ice hits are the ones that are very tough. If you look at the NHL, how many of them calls, they happen bang, bang. As a referee, you got a split second to make that call. And so did they make contact with the head? And where a lot of people don't have a problem with the rule is if it's a shoulder to the head, it used to be that was a great check. Now it's in the rule book, it's a penalty. And every time you have a shoulder to the head, I guarantee the coach, the players, the fans are not going to like that call.
Right. So that's what you're most, and you just had a referee clinic this weekend too, so is that something that you emphasize to the young up-and-comers?
Yeah, we focus on it, and one of the things with the new rule change this year in minor hockey is instead of a 2 and 10 like it is in the Alberta Junior League and senior, it's a double minor or a major in a game, which a little more emphasis on it. Takes away the 10-minute misconduct, but by taking away the misconduct, I think officials are going to be more apt to call it.
I think we had 4 or 5 in our exhibition games up to now of hits to the head.
Yeah.
See, on this thing here.
Are you talking that one where it could be misconstrued as
not the one
here?
No, Deanna and I agree on the same thing. I mean, we could have a whole show on this because I want to always ask him, because, I don't know if I'm older than him or he's older than me. I don't know. I think you're younger.
I'm 30.
All right. But you know what? It's like if you go back into my era, we've talked about this. I'm going to zip through this quick. I'm 6'4", all right, and 230 pounds playing the game of hockey. My shoulder pads were about that big when I played pro. All right. Today's shoulder pads are that big. So we agree that players are bigger, stronger, and faster as a whole because of technology today.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
So why do we put bigger equipment? Those hits in the middle of the ice with your head down, well, you never did it again. But those hits because of the shoulder pads, the elbow pads today are just, it's deadly.
Yeah.
Bigger, stronger, faster, bigger equipment, protecting more, but hurting a lot more and causing concussions.
Double-edged sword.
I always kind of wondered if you agreed to any of that.
Oh, absolutely. I think that, the checks we see today, yes, the players are bigger, yes, and the game is faster, there's no doubt about that. But I think the game is a cleaner game now too than it used to be. There is a less respect between the players. You see a lot more cheap shots now than you saw. You see the cross checks to the head, you see the punches to the back of the head, and when we had the odd scrap in the game, that took care of a lot of it. And now with the new rule, I don't like the new rule with the last 10 minutes, no fighting. It used to be if you had a 9-3 game, maybe a scrap in the last 10 minutes would take care of a lot of the edginess in the game. Now instead of having a fighting majors, now we have a bunch of minor penalties, misconduct penalties, because guys they can't fight because they get suspended for the next game.
Do you think we could go back to?
I think I have to cut you off. I have to cut you off, but there's a couple more questions in sound off, so stay tuned. That's next on The Gloves Are Off.
Do you think?